Okay, good morning and good afternoon or good evening, wherever you're coming from. And this is Manish, your host for today. And I'm coming from India, that is a lovely country in Asia. And I welcome you all in today's session on behalf of Crypto Ambassador. My name is Manish, and I've been doing this Royal Q business since the last 2 years. And I've been learning on the Royal Q on the Crypto Ambassador platform. And today we are going to discuss about a very wonderful concept, very wonderful uh, style of trading in Royal Q that is called BTC accumulation. So today, if you are new here, stay till the end of the session, and I will try to give you complete insight about what is BTC and what is BTC halving, how it is so important, and what is the best action you can take today to change your future, and how Royal Q can help you to become successful in the coming 1 or 2 years. That is a very wonderful opportunity for all of us. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. If you can hear me loud and clear, just type yes in the chat so I can begin the session for today. Just confirm that my voice is loud and clear. You can hear me. Just one person can hear me, or all of you? How many of you can hear me? Right. Okay. Okay. So I will request to have your active participation in today's session because we all are going to enjoy this session. If you take part in the session, you take attentive, you stay attentive, and be active whenever you have been asked about something, you must reply. And today's session is live streams on YouTube also. You can watch it again if you want. So let me begin the session. And in the meantime, you can invite all your friends, all your teammates who have already joined in your team, and also all your prospects or all your friends that whom you want to have this knowledge, and they can also start uh, as soon as possible with you and with your team and Royal Q. So let me take you to today's presentation. Let me share my screen. I hope all of you are ready with pen and paper because you need to write down some important uh, facts and figures. So let me take you to our presentation for today. Today's session will be in two parts. In the starting, I'm going to discuss about Bitcoin halving, and how we can see the future. Uh, that is the how we can see the future in an in a view of this halving event that is going to happen very soon. In the next part, I will take you to Royal Q and give you the best possible settings that you can have in order to accumulate BTC. So let us start today's session. I hope you are excited, and let me make it full screen. So today's topic is about Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin? I hope all of you know what is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. It was the first cryptocurrency that was launched in the year 2009, and it was the first ever cryptocurrency that was built on a blockchain. And then following that, almost we have now more than 23,000 different cryptocurrencies. So this was the first cryptocurrency. And what is cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrency is a virtual currency. Virtual means you cannot feel it, you cannot hold it in your hand, but you can use it over internet. And it is designed to act as money, just like you are using your local currency. Same way you can use it as a form of money and digital money, and a form of payment also. But what differentiates it and from the other all other currency, that it is outside the control of any one person, one group or entity. That means it is decentralized currency. You cannot have complete control over it, and no person controls this. But together we all come into the blockchain network, and we all have a control over our own currency, right? So this is your own currency. You have full control over it, and you own your wealth. So this removes the need for any third party involvement in the financial transaction. Suppose you pay in your local currency, then we all know that bank will be involved, and government will also be involved in that. And the third party, that is the bank, is recording your transaction over a ledger, and that makes it that makes it allows them to charge a fees for you and have a control over your wealth. If you deposit your money inside your bank, then your bank is having the complete control, and they can allow you, or they can also delay in the payment if they want. So this is another form of currency which is completely in your hands. You know, you don't need any third party. You don't require even a bank to come in between. If you are sending your money to someone in form of cryptocurrency, maybe it is Bitcoin or some other currency, you don't need any bank to come in between, but only two people, you and the receiver you sending, are only involved in this peer-to-peer transaction. So how the transaction will be recorded, and how where the transaction will be recorded, and how it will be verified, that depends on another system, another form of system, that is called a distributed ledger, which is called blockchain. Blockchain was built to secure and record the transactions and validate the transaction that are happening over Bitcoin network. So this became a new form of distributed ledger, and it is also a decentralized ledger. Decentralized means that no single authority, no single bank or single company or a single person can control, and they are responsible to record your transactions. So that means your transaction, your record, your ledger is maintained by all the people who come into this blockchain network over around the world. They can be hundreds, they can be thousands, or they can be millions also. So together, all of the people who come into this blockchain network, they form nodes, and these nodes validate your transaction, that it has occurred and happened, and then they form a new block, and that block is connected to the old block, and that continues, and that is how a blockchain is formed. So this is a peer-to-peer network, and decentralized, without any third party involved. So this is considered to be the most secure and hack-proof method of recording transaction or having your wealth over blockchain. So why do we require Bitcoin? That is the one question that comes to each and every person's mind. When we already have, when we already have our local currency, why do we need any new form of money or currency? That is a very important subject to understand. That this is a solution. This is not a of another opportunity, but this was started as a solution. Later, it became an opportunity when we saw that this is a very wonderful and very high potential asset. But initially, when it was started, it was a problem solver. It was a problem solver because it solved the problem, the biggest problem around the world in any country. If you are using your local currency and you coming from any country, a part of the world, you all face this problem, and you must all agree that we suffer from inflation. We suffer from inflation. What is inflation? That your local currency is losing its value. If you are using dollars, dollars is losing its value. I'm coming from India. We have a currency called rupee here, and it is losing its value. If we recall 10 years back, or maybe 20 years back, or 50 years back, the products or services that we used to buy with a certain amount of money are not available now with that particular amount of money, but their cost is has increased incredibly. The cost has increased incredibly. That means the money that we are using is losing its value. That is the main cause behind all the problems in the world, all the problems in the world, and that is the main cause behind poverty also. So if you don't want your money to lose its value, you have to invest it somewhere, another form of asset, another form of asset that is not losing its value, that is increasing in value. So that is why we all invest our money into some form of asset. Maybe we purchase gold, maybe you purchase some property, or you invested on somewhere else that you think that it is a form of investment that can give you high returns, and the growth should be more than the inflation rate. So this was the main reason behind why we need Bitcoin, why it started, because people were suffering from inflation, and the main cause behind inflation was banks that were printing endless new currency. Now you all know that banks are free to uh, issue new currency notes every time they need. They don't have to be they don't have to be backed by any security or gold or something else, but they can print as much money as they want. So that is why we see that the supply is unlimited of our local currency, and when supply is unlimited, that is the main cause behind why our currency is losing its value. Because things are getting expensive and expensive, but our incomes are not increasing in the same manner as the products and services are increasing in value. So we need another form of currency that is free from inflation. We need another form of currency that is free from inflation, and it is even free from any central authority that can have control over it, that can print as much quantity over it, because this is designed by scarcity. The main idea behind Bitcoin is because it is scarce. How much it is scarce? The total supply of Bitcoin, the total supply, the total quantity of Bitcoin that can ever be generated is fixed to 21 million Bitcoins. Not more than 21 million Bitcoin will be generated or issued, and after that last Bitcoin, the 21st Bitcoin is generated. After that, no more Bitcoin will be generated, no more Bitcoins will be coming to market. So that means that all the people, if they want to have Bitcoin, they have to pay a higher price. Because why? Because we all know the demand is increasing day by day. It has been 14 years since it first started, but every new day a lot of new people are entering and investing into Bitcoin, and they all want to hold at least minimum one Bitcoin. But we all know the world's population is more than 8 billion people in the world. If 8 billion people, even almost half of that, 50% of 8 billion people, that means 4 billion people decide that they want to buy one Bitcoin for themselves, they are unable to buy because the total supply is limited to 21 million. That is the main cause behind the growth and the growth in the price of Bitcoin. Because when it is designed by scarcity in the mind, then it becomes scarce and it becomes expensive and it becomes valuable also. So this is the main idea behind Bitcoin, to have a own currency that is not backed by any government or any bank, that is scarce in total supply, that is free from inflation, and that is also permissionless banking. No third party could be involved. So this is the best form of money that you can ever have. And what are the different ways to make money from cryptocurrency. Now let's go to the next topic. What are the different ways how you can make money, how you can earn from cryptocurrency? We have different options. We have many different options to make money. If you have good knowledge, if you are a technical savvy, then you can have multiple options. But for the newcomers who have just started their crypto journey, we have four major different ways how you can make money from cryptocurrency. And the first and the earliest way that started with the launch of Bitcoin was mining Bitcoin or mining cryptocurrency. Mining is a technical process when you validate the complex transactions over the internet, and you solve complex puzzles, and you are awarded a mining reward. That is your first income. The first ever income people started, well, they started mining Bitcoin, because mining is the process how you can generate new coins by solving complex problems over internet. And that is when you validate the transaction that has happened over a network, a blockchain network. Then the fastest of them who solves the problem first is rewarded a mining reward. So if you want to start mining today, you can set up your huge mining farm and install all the processors and servers. Then you can start mining. That requires a huge investment and a huge consumption of power and lot of other things. So this was the first way people started mining Bitcoin, and they earned a mining reward for that. How much they earned, I will discuss later. But second activity people started, they started buying and holding Bitcoin for a long term, because they realized that the price is going to go up in the future. Today it was available in very cheap price, but in future it may go up. So people started investing it and hold it for their future for long term. So that was another way of making money. You hold your asset for a longer period of time. When the price appreciates, you sell it for a gain, and that is your income. Third activity people started when they were holding their Bitcoin or different cryptocurrencies over in their exchange wallet. The exchanges itself, they offer staking reward if they use their assets to lock over a certain period of time, a fixed period of time, and they could earn a staking reward. That was the third form of income, how you can make money from crypto. But the best of all the ways was always trading. What is trading? Trading is simply buying low and selling high. Anything you can want to trade, you can buy it when the price is low, and you can sell it when the price goes up by a certain percentage. That is how you earn a trading profit. So same way people are trading in financial markets also. Some people trade in stock market, some people trade in forex market, but the best way to make money is by trading in cryptocurrency market, because it has more advantages, but it is highly volatile market. You can make money within a short period of time. Even within a few hours you can make good profit due to the high fluctuation in the prices. And also it is open 24 by 7. That makes it easy and flexible way of making money. So trading is the best way and the most popular way people are making money. You can start trading, and you can trade with artificial intelligence that we use in Royal Q to automate your trade and to make it very easy and very risk free also. You can use Royal Q, and I hope you all are loving Royal Q trading parameters. So now let us discuss about the next job topic for today. That is the main topic. We need to understand a very important event that is occurring in Bitcoin industry, that is called Bitcoin halving. What is Bitcoin halving? I told you about the first activity, that was mining Bitcoin. And after mining Bitcoin is the only activity that is how you generate new coins. And if you want to limit the total supply of mining new coins over internet, then you have to prepare for it from day one. And this is how the people behind Bitcoin, they prepared for it. Even before they launched it, they declared that after almost every 4 years, there is going to happen a halving event that will cut the mining reward to half. So when you earn a mining reward, that depends on in which era you are mining, and in every 4 years this mining reward is cut to half. How it is reduced to half, you can study this slide, and this explains all the halvings which has happened and already happened, and all the future halvings. So if you start from top, we can see in the first era, every era is 4 years era, and every first era, the block reward was given for mining Bitcoin was 50 Bitcoin. Can you imagine now? If you earn 50 Bitcoin, you will be the happiest person. And 50 Bitcoin was the block reward that was given in the first 4 years. But after 4 years, in the year 2012, the first halving happened, and this cut the mining reward from 50 to 25. So now people, those who were mining Bitcoin were earning half of what they were earning before. So now this was again this continued for the next 4 years till we saw the third halving. Sorry, the second halving. The second halving happened 4 years from 2012. That was 2016, and the block reward was again cut to half from 25 Bitcoin to 12.5 Bitcoin. And recently we saw, before 3 years back, we saw the third halving. That was the last halving we saw in the year 2020. And the block reward today, if you go and mine Bitcoin, will be 6.25 Bitcoin. 6.25 is your mining reward. But that is not a very that is just limited to few months from now, because we all know when 4 years complete after 2020, if you add 4 years, we come to 2024, and we are just few months before the next halving that will happen in 2024, and then the mining reward will be again cut to half and will be reduced to 3.125. So this is how the mining reward is halved after every 4 years. That is why this event is called Bitcoin halving. And this is the main procedure how we can limit the total supply of Bitcoin to 21 million. Because even if you continue to halve the reward for next 100 years or more, one day will come when the mining reward will be reduced to zero, because you cannot continue for eternity. Now you can see that 2136, the year 2136, almost 100 years or more from now, will be the year of last Bitcoin halving. After that, no more halving will be required, and the total supply will be generated, that is 21 million. So this is the most important event. Why it is so important? Because this limits the total supply, and gives a and gives a knowledge about the scarcity of this Bitcoin. So that this is the main reason why every halving pushes the price of Bitcoin to a new all-time high. I will show you how this journey started and what was the effect of each halving in the coming slides. Now, what are the upcoming Bitcoin halvings? You can see the first halving we will witness in very few months from now. Maybe around 200 days or less than 200 days are left for the next halving, which is going to happen in 2024. And this will reduce the mining reward to 3.125. Another 4 years, you will see in 2028 that the fifth halving will be happening. and this is the mining reward, which will be again cut to half. In another 4 years, you will see 2032, then 2036 and 2040. Maybe we live till then and you will witness all these halvings. But the most important halving, which is going to happen in a few months from now, maybe 3 or 4 months are left, which is Bitcoin halving number 4, which we don't want to lose because it is a huge opportunity. And already 92.5% of all the Bitcoin, of the total supply of Bitcoin, has already been officially mined, and only 7.5% are remaining. So how it is so important, how which is the best way to study this about this halving and the effect of this halving over the market prices of Bitcoin, that we now want to understand. So let us start an analysis of this chart, that is the most important chart in the history of Bitcoin, that is called Bitcoin stock to flow chart. Bitcoin stock to flow chart, because it shows the complete journey of Bitcoin from the day it started in the year 2009, and we are here today in the year 2023. So you can see these are different eras, and all the eras are divided in 4 years. So these are the lines that are indicating the halving events. You can see these blue lines, the blue dotted lines, they are showing the halving events, and it is a gap of 4 years in between. Each line is divided is 4 years in gap, and each era is has a different name. Why we call it this by this name, that we will discuss. So let us start analyzing this chart from an investor point of view or a trader's point of view. Then you can understand the power of this halving and what is lying in front of you in a few months from now. So this was the year of launching Bitcoin. When it started, the price of Bitcoin was even less than $1. Around it was $0.01 per Bitcoin. So when it started from a very small price, it started to go up because a lot of people started taking interest. Only few people believed it. Not everyone believed in this Bitcoin, but few people started mining Bitcoin. They were the pioneers in the first era. That is why this era is called pioneers era, that only the new people who entered into Bitcoin network, they started mining Bitcoin over their computers, and now they started earning mining reward. So this pushed the prices higher, and from $0.1 it increased and touched a first time all-time high price, that was around $15 per Bitcoin. So this was the highest price in first era, that was around $15 per Bitcoin, but still it was a huge return on investment for those people who started buying Bitcoin or mining Bitcoin when it was below $1. Then we all, when the price touches a new all-time high, it has to go back and retrace. The market has to retrace. So from bull market, we entered into bear market, but it ended when we saw the first halving happen in the year 2012. The first halving, which changed the direction of market and the trend of the market. And from bear trend or bearish market, we enter into the first bull run. And this took the price to a new all-time high. This time it was around $1,000 per Bitcoin. $1,000 per Bitcoin was the second highest price of the second highest price in the second era. So again, prices started to go down, but again, after 4 years, the second halving happened, and you can see the prices which were going down now started to rise, and it touched a new all-time high in the third era, which was called retail traders era, because in this era, lot of small shopkeepers and small retailers, they started to put a sign outside their shop that we accept Bitcoin as a form of payment. You can shop, you can do, and you can buy any product or services, and now you can pay in form of Bitcoin because we accept BTC. So this was retail traders era, and this pushed the price even higher and higher. And this time it touched around $12,000 per Bitcoin. This was the highest price till today. Highest price till today in this era. But again, market started to go down. And when we see that the next halving happened, this was the last ever halving that happened in the year 2020. Again, prices started to go up. And if you can look closely, the prices even started to rise even 1 year before the halving happened, because till now people had experienced two halvings before, and they had experienced the power and effect of this halving. So they started to buy even 1 year before when the price was at the lowest, and they started preparing for Bitcoin accumulation. So this took the price to a new all-time high, and this era that we are talking right now is called corporate era. Why we call corporate era? Because initially only the small investors were taking interest into investing Bitcoin, but now in this era we see that big firms and big corporates are investing, and almost all the billionaires in the world, all the big business tycoons in the world, if you can name it, you can see that almost all of them have invested into Bitcoin. They all believe in the power of Bitcoin, and all of them are waiting for the next halving. So this era took the price to a new all-time high. It was unbelievable when it touched $69,000 mark in the year 2021. That was 2 years before. And again, we entered into bear market, and we are still into bear market, but it has started to take gain momentum, because we are approaching the next halving, which is few months from now. That is the 2024 halving, the fourth halving is approaching. So what is the opportunity that is in front of us? If you want to see the future, you have to analyze the past. That is how trading works. If you want to see the future, if you want to predict what is going to happen in the future, you have to analyze what happened before and after every halving. So if you look closely, before 1 year before halving or 2 years before halving, we see the market was down, and immediately this halving took the prices to a new all-time high. So this happened 3 times before. You can see 1 year after the halving, we see a new all-time high has been created. And every time it is breaking its own record. If you can connect all these highest point, you can see it has been breaking its own record every time. The highest point, the all-time high, is higher than all the previous all-time high. Every era, the highest price in every era is much above all the previous all-time high, and it creates a new all-time high. So if this trend continues, anybody can predict that the next all-time high should be somewhere around here, and it is going to be much higher than $69,000. That is for sure, because every time it is breaking its own previous price record. So next all-time high should be much higher than $69,000. How much it can be, that is a point to discuss. And all the experts in the world, almost all of them, they believe that it can be somewhere above $1 million per Bitcoin. Some say it can go even $2 billion. Some say so $2 million. Some even say that it can go even up to $5 billion. But all of them agree to this, that $1 million is the minimum price of next all-time high. So let us wait for that. But instead of just waiting for it to happen, but we have to be prepared for it, because only those people who take action today, when is the when is the best time to buy and accumulate Bitcoin will take the maximum advantage of this opportunity. So when is the best time to buy Bitcoin? When it is at the lowest. Can you see here? When was the first time you should have bought? That was when the price was at the lowest. This was the lowest point in each era. You can see every era has a highest point, a highest price. These were the highest price. These were the highest price, and every era has also a lowest price. So when is the best time to buy? Any trader in the world could say that the best time to buy is when the price is at the lowest. In this era, we saw price went to as low as $15,000 per Bitcoin. In previous era, it was even less than that. What we had, the lower low were even lower than the previous this low. So every era, it is forming a higher low and a higher high. Can you see that the highs are even higher than before? Even the lows are lower than before. Sorry, even the lows are higher than before. Because every era has the lowest point, but it cannot go below the previous low because it is an uptrend. It is not coming down. But in one more angle, we can analyze this chart. If you give a different insight, you can see that the lows are forming higher and higher. But if you see carefully another pattern, the lowest price of this era, that was around $15,000, was still higher than the highest price of previous era, which was around $12,000. Not the lowest price, but the highest price of previous era. This era's lowest price was still higher than the highest price of previous era. This happened in every era. The lowest price of previous era was still higher than the highest price of previous era. The lowest price of second era was still higher than the highest price of first eras. So this is another way of analyzing this chart. If you cannot predict the highest price of next era, the highest price of next era can be somewhere around 1 million to 5 million per Bitcoin, but nobody is sure how much high it can be. Some people say it can be 100,000. Some people say it can be 500,000. Some people say it can be even 10 million. 100,000. But one thing is sure: the lowest price of next era, if this pattern continues, the lowest price of next era will still be higher than the highest price of this era. And we all know the highest price of this era was $69,000. So does that not tell you clearly that the lowest price of next era will still be more than $69,000? This is a clear figure, a clear indication, because it has happened 4 times before. 4 times before. So this has to repeat. The lowest price of next era should be much higher than $69,000. Even if the market crashes, even if all the prices went down, even if we see a very bad bear market in the next era, still the prices will not go down, will not go below $69,000. So if we know that this is the lowest price of next era, this could be the lowest price of next era or even more than 69,000, still we can predict what can be the highest price of next era. The highest should be much above than this. So this is a huge opportunity. I hope you all know by now that how much big is this opportunity, because we all have this opportunity. We all had this opportunity in this era to buy Bitcoin when it was at the lowest price of $15,000. But some of us missed this opportunity in this era. Some of us entered late. So they have seen that from $15,000, it went up to $30,000, around $30,000 or $31,000 in this era only. but now we see that it has retraced a little, and now it is available around $27,000 per Bitcoin. So still we are early, because even if you start today with $27,000 price, you don't have to buy one full Bitcoin. You can invest as much as you want, as much low or as much high as you want. But we all know our investment at this price will give us the best possible return in coming 1 or 2 years. We don't have to wait for another 20 years or 15 years. We just have to wait for another 1 or 2 years when Bitcoin touches a new all-time high, and we all know it can go from 1 million to above. So this is a huge opportunity if you want to secure your future and your children's future. And if even if you never had invested before, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity you don't want to miss, because we missed it 3 times before. So this is the last time you are presented this opportunity, because next time when you see this, maybe the lowest price will be 1 million or above. So this is the effect of each halving that you can see from here to here, from here to here, and from here to here. The price is going to go so high. And when is the best time to buy Bitcoin? The best time to buy Bitcoin is 1 year before the halving. So if you miss this opportunity three times before, 3 times before we were given this opportunity, 1 year before halving was the best time. And we are again at the same same part of the time. We are already late, but still we are early, because this is just before the halving that you can start today and take action. So don't want to miss this fourth time, or you will regret it for lifetime. So this is the best time to buy Bitcoin. And how to accumulate Bitcoin, that is the power of Royal Q that I will share in the next part of session. But let me give you a preview of next bull run, which is going to be massive. This is all the people around the world, all the big experts around the world, they are agreeing to one statement, that this bull run will be massive. It will not be same as before, because a lot of things have changed till now, and a lot of new things and new investors are coming into Bitcoin that I will share with you. So next Bitcoin halving is just approaching us. It is expected and estimated around April 16, 2024. That is not a fixed date, but you can expect from first quarter to second quarter, around first to second quarter of 2024, you will see that the next halving is coming. And Bitcoin has shown a clear trend. If you understand this 4-year cycle, this has given us a huge opportunity that only the people who stay in this 4 years and survive and have patience, they take the maximum benefit, because Bitcoin is repeating its 4-year cycle in every 4 years. Before and after halving, it has been repeating this cycle. Can you see a trend here? How many people see a trend here? If you look closely, you see that 3 years of up market is followed by 1 year of down market. Or you can say in a different way, 1 year of down market is followed by 3 years of up market. So if you have survived this, this time, in the year 2022, we saw the 1 year of down market. And if you look in the history, we see that after 1 year of down market, we have 3 years of up market. So this is going to happen, and now we can clearly see what is going to happen in the coming 2 years, or starting from today, you can enter into 3 years of up market, because this is going to happen. It is no matter if you believe it or not, this is going to happen. And only the people who believe in this and take action today will be the maximum benefit will take the maximum benefit out of this trend. So if you have not started yet, this is the best time to start. When is the best time to buy Bitcoin? When the adoption is low, when the price is low, when major updates are happening, and you start when even 1 year before the halving, or even sometime when the price is low and before the halving, and people are accumulating and preparing for the next halving. This is the best time to buy Bitcoin. If you had invested 12 years before, if you had invested $10,000 12 years before in any of these big giant companies that you know, all the people know, this could be your return on investment. If you look closely, how much return on investment you could have gained if you had invested in these giant companies around the world. These are the big companies and the most profitable companies till today. So this could be your return on investment of $10,000. Highest return could have been $720,000 that you have invested in Tesla. That is the richest company till today. But if you look at Bitcoin, your $10,000 could have given you $653 million return. So this is still the highest form of return on investment, and you can start today, because best time to start was when Bitcoin had started, but the second best time is to start investing in Bitcoin is today. Even if you have little capital, you don't have to worry, because you don't have to buy one full Bitcoin, because one Bitcoin can be divided into or distributed into 100 million small pieces. So even if you have a small capital, you don't have to worry, because the smallest unit of Bitcoin is called Satoshi. And when 100 million Satoshis come together, they form one Bitcoin. So even if you have a tiny small capital, you can start today with a small capital and start accumulating. And also you can multiply your small investment into a huge capital if you know the power of multiplication and compounding. That we will discuss in the next topic today. So only 4.5% of the global population is invested into crypto. That is very early stage. Still less than 5% of world population is invested into crypto. And Bitcoin has given more than 6 million% return in the previous 14 years, when only 5% or less of the world population is invested. You can imagine what will happen when almost 50% of the world population, they start to buy Bitcoin or invest into Bitcoin or crypto. What could have happened? So Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says that crypto users will reach 2 to 3 billion in the next 10 years. It is increasing at a rapid stage. And Michael Saylor, if you know him, he is the CEO of MicroStrategy. He is the biggest investor in Bitcoin. He has thousands and thousands of Bitcoin, and he believes that Bitcoin industry will grow 100x, 100 times in the next decade with mainstream institutional adoption. What is the mainstream institutional adoption? What he's talking about? Let me show you a few examples. This is the biggest firm in the world, and it is a huge $1 trillion investment firm. That is the largest asset management firm in the world, called BlackRock. And BlackRock has already filed for Bitcoin ETF. It is pending and waiting to be approved. If you can just imagine what will happen when this ETF is improved. ETF, if you don't know, ETF stands for exchange traded funds. That means this firm, which is almost $9 trillion company, has its funds been trading into different markets, but now they are interested to have their fund trade through Bitcoin ETF, Bitcoin stock, spot Bitcoin market. So when these funds enter into Bitcoin, you cannot even imagine how high the prices will go. This is why people say that this bull run is going to be massive. Not only BlackRock, but following them, almost all the biggest investment firms and asset management firms like Fidelity has also filed for Bitcoin ETF. Even Invesco, Valkyrie has also filed for it. And recently, 1.5 trillion asset manager Templeton Franklin Templeton has also officially applied for Bitcoin spot ETF. So why these huge investment firms are interested into Bitcoin? Because they know, they realize, they understand the power of Bitcoin. They believe in the power because they now agree that US dollar or local currency is losing its value every year, but Bitcoin is free from inflation. This is the best time to invest into Bitcoin when we are approaching the next halving. So they are waiting for their ETF. All these firms are waiting for their ETF to get approved, and it is expected to be approved before the next halving. And this year, this time, this halving is going to be massive. You cannot even imagine how high it can go. So this is the best time to buy, because if you just add up these four, out of all the different asset management firms, if you just add up the total turnover of these four big investment giants, their total turnover is more than $27 trillion. And even if they decide, even if just imagine, even if these four firms, they decide to allocate their 4%, only 4% of their total turnover into Bitcoin, they will end up buying each and every Bitcoin available on this earth, because the total market cap of Bitcoin is still 580 billion. And these are trillion-dollar companies. So $27 trillion is coming to Bitcoin. This is the best time to buy, because you cannot imagine how high can this go. And next time you decide, if you decide to start before next halving, you will then require millions and millions of dollars. What you can start with small capital will not be accessible for each and every one of us. So it is just a matter of time, just waiting for these ETF to be approved, and we are here now. We are here at the edge of this massive bull run. Just wait for these big giants to enter into Bitcoin. You will not be able to catch them. You will not be able to catch the Bitcoin now. If you start today, this is the best time to buy, because it is going to give you the best opportunity of a lifetime. What big experts are saying, let me share a few words from big experts around the world who have a lot of experience and knowledge. Let me share their statements with you. 9 trillion BlackRock CEO, he predicts that cryptocurrencies will surpass traditional currencies worldwide. Why he's interested into trading his funds on Bitcoin ETF? Because he believes that the traditional currencies are losing their power, and Bitcoin is the currency of the global currency of the future. He sees that in the future, all the currencies, just like you see, all the countries have one currency that is the biggest currency, that is US dollar. The US dollar has manipulation over all the all over the countries. Now he believes that cryptocurrency and the Bitcoin will be the next global currency. He realizes its power. Bitcoin could pass $200,000 price as institution like BlackRock move in. This is a statement by Fundstrat. Another statement from one of the biggest banks in the world. It is Standard Chartered Bank. I hope you know about it. Standard Chartered Bank predicts that Bitcoin price by the year 2024, then the next year price, they say that it can go around $120,000, even just before the next halving. Bitcoin can hit 10 trillion market cap, says investor Dan Tapiero. So these are big billion-dollar investors and big experts and believers in Bitcoin. One of them is Tim Draper. He says that Bitcoin by the year 2025, 2 years from now, it is going to touch $250,000. Robert Kiyosaki, we all know about him. He is the one of the most popular author of financial books, and he wrote The Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is still the most best-selling book of all time. He says that US dollar is losing its value. It will going to die very soon when Bitcoin touches $120,000 in the next year, 2024, says Robert Kiyosaki. And he also predicts that Bitcoin can touch $500,000 by the year 2025. Another big investor and expert, Adam Black, who's the CEO of CEO of Blockstream, he says that Bitcoin might reach $10 million in the next 9 years. He's talking about next 9 years, means two halvings. After two halvings, it is going to be around $10 million, which we expect $1 million after first halving. He believes that after the fifth halving, in the year 2028, he's talking about next 9 years, it is going to be ranging in $10 million per Bitcoin. So the longer you wait, the more high returns you earn. Kathy Woods, she's a CEO of ARK Investors. She has also filed for Bitcoin ETF, and she says Bitcoin price target. She declared her Bitcoin price targets by the year 2030. She believes that the bullish case can take the price to $1.4 million, and even if in the Bitcoin falls down, and the bearish case, the price should not go below $258,000. So even if you believe the bearish case price, still you will be a lot more happier than today, because the fun fact behind all these is Bitcoin is growing faster than every bank and every financial company in the history. So this was about Bitcoin and Bitcoin halving, and what is the effect of this Bitcoin halving over the prices of the market, and how and what is the best time to, what is the best action that you can take today to secure and change your future. I hope now you have a clear understanding, and you know why we are so serious about this halving, which is approaching us in a few months from now. Still, if you haven't started, you can start today, because this opportunity won't come again, and it won't be so cheap to start. When you can start accumulating at a very small price of $27,000, when people are talking about it in $100,000 to $1 million per Bitcoin. So I hope you gained this knowledge, and you now want to know what is the best action we can take today, and how we can accumulate Bitcoin, because the best action you can take today is accumulate Bitcoin. When you have seen all these figures and what big experts around the world are saying, so this is the best time to start accumulating. And even if you don't have a huge capital, even if you have a small capital, you have a wonderful tool, the miracle tool in the world, that is called Royal Q. Because Royal Q gives you another opportunity that you can start with a small capital and start accumulating today, and multiply and compound your asset every day, and that too on a fully auto mode. You don't have to You don't have to come to market every day and do the trading. You just have to start it, give the best settings according to your capital, and keep it running for another 1 year, and it will go on auto mode and keep on multiplying your small capital and compound it into a huge capital. So how many of you want to know that formula and the settings we use in Royal Q to accumulate Bitcoin starting from a small capital? How many of you want to know this? If you want, just type I'm ready. Just type ready, and I will take you to the next part of today's session and explain how to do it. How many of you are excited? Just type ready. If you are ready, just type ready. And I'm going to start the next part of today's session and take you to Royal Q. And I'm going to give you different strategies depending on your small or big capital, how you can start today, and make a big difference in your future. So I can read all your comments. So let us start today and let us learn how Royal Q helps you to multiply your small capital into a huge capital, when you can start today accumulating Bitcoin, because this is the best time to take action and prepare for the next halving. Very less time is left now. So you don't want to wait any more days. Best time is to start today. So that when we come to Royal Q, I hope you can see my Royal Q. We see here that this is the home page of Royal Q, and Royal Q itself believes in the power of Bitcoin because it has given you a, a separate market of Bitcoin, a separate market for Bitcoin accumulation. If you want to accumulate Bitcoin, you can come here and start accumulating Bitcoin. We have now BTC market in Royal Q, because most of us, all the traders that we have in today's session, they only know about USDT market because we send them signals every day. And if you are trading on signals, you must be trading in USDT market. We have around 90 coins available in USDT market. You can see here. But we have another market available here. That is the BTC market. And the purpose of BTC market is to accumulate BTC, not to trade on USDT, but to trade with BTC. You can see here, we have only 6 pairs available here. And each pair has a common currency, that is Bitcoin, BTC. So how this helps you to accumulate BTC? If you have a capital in form of BTC, suppose you want to trade on XRP and you want to trade on with your BTC capital. So this is your capital and this is what you are going to trade. So how this happens? This happens when XRP prices, either they can go down or they can go up. Two things can happen. When you have opened this trade, out of any of these, you can open any of these trades. Suppose you have opened XRP, how this will help in accumulate and multiply your Bitcoin? You have to start with small capital, and that capital will be in form of BTC. When you are trading on XRP, two things can happen. Either the price can go up or the price can go down. So we all know how Royal Q works. When price of XRP goes down, it goes and buys XRP for you. So every time XRP prices go down, it will give your BTC and change it to XRP. You are going to accumulate XRP right now, but when price goes down, it has to come up again. So when price of XRP goes up, what Royal Q robot will do? It will sell XRP and give you back your BTC, because this is the only way it trades. Either it can buy or sell. So when you are in profit, it will sell XRP and give you back your BTC, but it will not give you the same quantity of BTC because it will also give you profit. So the profit here you make is also in form of BTC. You will not earn a profit in form of USDT, but your profit will also be in form of BTC. So every time it sells for you, it gives you some more BTC. And if you keep on running on this on cycle mode for at least next 1 year, or at least when you see that the next all-time high of Bitcoin is created, if you keep on running this trade for on cycle mode, it will keep on buying and selling every day, even multiple times in a day, and keep on accumulating BTC for you. Because every time you make a profit, you are adding it to the quantity of BTC. So your capital is increasing day by day. So you can start any of these trades, even if you have a small capital. But if you keep it running for another 1 year or more, then you will realize that after completing 1 year, you have accumulated a large capital, because your capital, whatever capital you start with, you will be adding profit to it every day. That will give you more capital, a larger capital for you. So this is the formula behind Royal Q BTC accumulation. For that, come to Royal Q and open the BTC market from here, and you can trade on any of these coins. You just have to have your capital in form of BTC. So let's take an example. I will give you different strategies depending on your capital. So let's open one trade. Say we trade on LTC and we trade with BTC. Go to Martingale bot and go to next and come here, and this is the trade we want to open. LTC BTC. Okay, you see here we don't require USDT, we just require BTC for it. So if you don't have BTC, first thing you do, go to your exchange and buy BTC with whatever capital you want to use for this trade. How much capital is required, that we will calculate today. So when you come here, you all know we go to trade settings and give the settings to our Royal Q robot. And when you come here and you are into manually create option, you see here that we have the same kind of interface that we see in USDT market, but one thing is changed here. The first buy in amount, if you look closely, it is in form of BTC. It is not USDT. When you go to USDT market, you see 15 USDT here, 15 USDT here. But now you see it is 0.0002 BTC. So this is the minimum first buy you can start your trade with. Okay, so you can start taking notes. The first buy, which is recommended by Royal Q, is minimum 0.0002 BTC. You cannot go below this. You can increase it if you have big capital. Rest things are same. You don't have to change anything. Margin call limit will be 7. You can add more or you can reduce it, but I will advise don't go below 7. Don't go below 7, because if you start with a small capital, you can start with 7 margin calls. That will help you to cover at least a decent market drop also. So the whole position take profit ratio, the take profit ratio is recommended 1.3, or you can increase it to 2% or 3% if you want. That is up to your choice. The callback should be 0.3, or you can reduce it to 0.1 also if you want. That doesn't matter much, but main thing here is when you open the margin configuration, before that, one more thing I must remind you. If you look closely, this is something different what we do in USDT market. When we are trading in USDT market, we are trading on one shot. Can you see here? One shot. This is what we do in USDT market. But when we come to BTC market, change it to cycle mode. You see here, this is changed to cycle. So don't trade on one shot. Only trade on one shot if you have a small capital. Say you are trading with $100 or $200, then you can make it one shot. But if you have good capital, then it is recommended you open on cycle mode. Because why we use cycle? Because we are preparing our roll queue to trade for on this coin for at least 1 year or even more. So we don't want to come again and again and start this trade again once it has closed. So we want it to run on auto mode and fully auto mode for at least 1 year or more. So this is a long-term cycle. We don't want to make it one shot. Okay. So now let's go to the main part of the trading parameters, that is called margin configuration. How you multiply your capital, how much capital you require are all the things that you see here. You see here, we have margin call drop and we also have multiple buy-in ratio. What are these meant for? These are the market drop you want to cover. How much market drop that you want to cover, that is explained and designed in the left side of the page. And when you come to the right side of the page, this is how much capital that you want to use in each margin calls. So as I told you earlier, we have 7 margin calls. These are your 7 margin calls that you can see here. These are the 7 margin calls. And how much capital we have, that is the only thing that will allow us to give a particular strategy. So starting we have to give a margin call drop, and I will recommend, if you are adding up these 7 margin call drops, the total should not be less than 30%. You can change it according to you. I'm not giving you a very fixed strategy. You can change it according to you, but try to take at least 30% to 50% market call drop. The total of all these market call drops should be anywhere between 30 to 50%. It can be 50%, it can be 40%, it can be 45%, it can be 35%, but don't go below 30%. That is advisable. Why? Because you don't want the trades to stop when the fund is completely consumed inside the trade, and you don't want your trades to be stuck anywhere. So because we want to trade for full long-term cycle, we have to cover at least 30 to 40% or 50% market call drop. What I have done here, I have covered 30%. You can increase it to 40 or 50. That is up to you. Okay. So let's come to the right side of the page where we have to distribute our capital. This is called capital management. And this is how much times you want to buy of what? Of your first buy. So if you want to buy 2 times of your first buy, you have to write 2 here. And this is how the robot will act according to your instructions. So how RoyalQ will trade? First, it starts with the first buy, that is 0.0002. 0002. That was the first buy it had started the trade with. Then it will come here and read these instructions. Whatever instruction you give, the RoyalQ will follow them. You have asked him to, when the price drops by 1% from the first buy price, go and buy 2 times of my first buy for me. When again market drops by 1% again, go and buy 4 times of my first buy. When market drops by 2%, buy the third call and buy 8 times of what we have given the first buy. Okay, I hope you understand how this works. And this way you are preparing your robot to cover at least 30% in the left side. All these are 30%. And you have to calculate your capital and give the proper settings here that should match your capital. You cannot give it blindly, because when it comes to buying, it will go and buy it will go and look inside your spot wallet how much BTC you have in your exchange. So that should match with these figures. Okay, so you have to be very careful with this. You don't want RoyalQ to give you an abnormal operation because you have not sufficient balance in your exchanger. So how we decide what figures we will write here depends on your capital. So we have different strategies. I will give you 3 of them. 3 are the best strategies that we can use depending on your capital. Number one of all the strategies, the number one strategy in the world, we call it double up strategy. Why we call it double up? Because this is what RoyalQ itself gives you. If you come to this page, you will see that these are the default settings, and these settings are already in double up mode. If you want to use double up setting, you don't need to change anything here. Just use it as it is. And this is the best strategy that is recommended by our crypto masters team also, and also by RoyalQ. What is double up? Double up means every time you are buying double of what you bought before. So if you buy 2 times in the first call, you are buying double of what you bought in the first call. Double of 2 is 4, double of 4 is 8, double of 8 is 16, double of 8 is 16 is 32, and so on. So how do we calculate our capital? That is very simple. Just add up all these figures, add all these times, and the total comes, multiply it with the first buy. That will give you how much capital is required. So let us go to calculator now, and let us start calculating now. I add up all the margin calls. The first call is 2 times, and next call is double of 2, that is 4 times. Okay, double of 4 is 8 times, double of 8 is 16, double of 16 is 32. You have to add 7 margin calls. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to have 7 margin calls. So add up 2 times more. Double of 32 is 64, and double of 64, it will buy 128 time in the 7th call. So these are the 7 margin calls, and you see here the total comes to 254. But before we multiply with the first buy, you had to add 1 in the last. Why? Because remember, it had started with first buy. It has not started with the first margin call. Before the first margin call, it has already bought the first buy. That is the first buy to start the trade. So first buy is always 1 time of what we have given the first buy. So this is the total times it will buy. This is not your capital still. It is times of what? Times of your first buy. So who remembers what was the first buy in amount? Let me see in the chat. Who remembers what was the first buy in amount we just discussed? We just discussed first buy in amount. Who is going to tell me number 1? What is the first buy? Save your questions for the last. Save your questions for the last. I will give you I will give you all chance to ask your question. Just stay in the session and just tell me what is the first buy. Okay, some people are saying 0.0002, and some people may be missing 1 or 2 zeros. So all of you, most of you are correct. Someone is saying 2 times. No, 2 is not the first buy. 2 is not the first buy. Remember, I told you the first buy is 0.0002. Let me show it to you again. When we go to the previous page, here we have written the first buy in amount. What is this? 0.0002. Okay, 0.0002. This is our first buy. This means that RoyalQ will buy 2 times of our first buy and 4 times here. Okay, so how much is the first buy? Let's go and multiply this with our first buy. 255 times the total times we are buying of our first buy, that is 0.0002. So this is the capital required for double up strategy. How much is it? It is 0.051 BTC. It is not in USDT. I remember I told you in the beginning, we are not going to trade with USDT. We are going to trade with BTC, and this is the capital you require. If you want to have an idea how much USDT is required to buy this amount of BTC, so you have to multiply it. You have to multiply this, where it has gone. Okay, let me multiply again. 0.0002. Yeah, this was the first buy. And if you want to calculate how much in USDT is this amount, this quantity of BTC, multiply it with the current price of BTC. What is the current price of BTC? It may be 27, it may be 26, or maybe more. Let's take, for example, it is $27,000 right now. So we require a capital of 1,377 USDT. This is in form of USDT, and this is in form of BTC. If this is the current price, whatever this can be changed. This can be different. Whatever the current price is, this will give you an idea how much capital is required to buy this amount of BTC. Okay, focus here. This is your capital. This can change also, but this remains the same. This cannot change. So you require 0.051 BTC. So you can note it down. This is the total capital, 0.051. So whenever you want to start, you have to look at the current price at that time, and you can buy this amount of BTC. So say for this example, we say that 1377, or maybe we can say 1,400 if we take round figure, because Bitcoin can go more than 27,000 today. So let's take 1,400 is our total capital required if we use double up strategy. So some people may say, I can start today. I have 1,500 or 1,600 or $2,000. You can start today. But some people, and most of the people may say that they have less than $1,000 in capital. So can I start this trade with double up strategy? No, you cannot use double up strategy. You have to change your strategy now to a second best strategy. That is not as good as double up, but still it is very good. Because double up is best. If this is best, I will give you second best strategy, that is called Fibonacci. Fibonacci will allow you to trade with less than $1,000. If you have less than $1,000, use Fibonacci. How Fibonacci works? Let us change the coin, and let me show you another coin which uses you can trade on any of these coins. I have just saved different strategies on different coins. Let me check which is the Fibonacci. Let me check. I forget which is the Fibonacci strategy. Okay, this is not. Let me check another coin, maybe link. I have saved it somewhere. So let me check it for you. Come to, yes, this is Fibonacci. Okay, this is Fibonacci. So one thing you can do, first change you can make, everything remains the same. Only thing is you can increase one more margin call here. Remember, we were trading 7 margin call before. Now I have added 8 margin calls. So when we go to margin configuration, we see 8 margin calls here. And the 8th one can also allow you to have a more market drop here. So previously we were trading with 30%. Now I have added 12% more. 12% more. So I am trading with 42% market drop. The more margin calls we have, more market drop we can cover. Okay. So this is one advantage. And second advantage is we can allocate our capital in 8 margin calls, and this is called Fibonacci strategy. How it works? It is slightly different from the double up strategy. First call remains the 2 times only, but second call will be changed to 3 times. Okay, and the third call will be 5 times. How we get to these figures? Just add up last 2 margin calls. It is simple formula. This is called Fibonacci formula. You can write it down. Just add up the last 2, the previous 2 margin calls. The previous 2 margin calls are 2 plus 3. That will give you a 5 here. Again, what you do for fourth margin call, add up the last 2 margin calls. That is 3 plus 5. That will give you 8 here. I hope you understand now. What is the fifth margin call? 5 plus 8. That is 13 here, and so on. So these are the 8 margin calls. Every time I am buying total of what we bought before and put a total here. Same way, total of these two is this. Total of these two is this. Total of these two is this. Okay. This is very simple, or you can write it down: 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and 55. To make it simple, you can note it down. So let us go to calculator now, and now you can note it down again. First call will be 2 times, then add 1, let add 3 here, and then total last 2 margin calls, that is 2 plus 3, sorry, 2 plus 3 is 5, and 5 plus 3 is 8. What is 8 plus 5? That is 13. What is 13 plus 8? That is 21. What is 21 plus 13? That is 34. 34. What is 34 plus 21? 34 plus 21 is 55. How many margin calls we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 margin calls, and the total comes to 141. I hope you understood. 141. But don't forget to add one more, because this was the first buy, and 142 is the total times it will buy of our first buy. First buy was, remember, it was 0.0002 BTC. So this is the total BTC that you require as a capital. 0.0284 is your capital now. If you want to calculate how much this will cost in USDT, just multiply with whatever the current price is. Suppose we say $27,000. So you will require 767 USDT. So this will allow you to trade with less than $1,000 of capital. So now we have 2 options. I hope you are now happier than before, because in double up strategy, we saw that 1,400 is our capital. But now we have another strategy that is called Fibonacci, and that requires only how much? 766. Say we say around figure 800. If you have less than $800, you can trade with Fibonacci. If you have more than $1,000, you can choose double up. If you have less than $1,000, you can choose Fibonacci. Okay. So this is the capital required, around 800 or below. So some people may be happier now, but some people still will be thinking that I have less than $800. Is there any other option for me? Yes, you can have the third best strategy, because this is number 1, this is number 2. And we have also third best strategy, that is called +1. +1. But don't forget, we are compromising on our strategy. So this is another option, and it will require less than $500. It will require less than $500 to trade with. But don't forget, this is the best one. Don't compromise if you have good capital. Only reduce your strategy power when you have less capital. So even if you have $800 or $700, choose Fibonacci. Only if you have less than $500, then you can compromise, because then you don't have any choice. Then you can choose the plus one strategy. How is plus one working? Let me take you to another strategy. The third strategy. For that, let's open another coin. Say it is XRP. And let me check. Let me check here. No, this is not. Maybe I've saved to some other coin. Okay, we can have link. We have done LTC. We have done. Let me check BNB. Okay. Okay. No, this is 14 calls. So let me take you to plus one strategy, and maybe it is an XRP. I have just checked. Link. ADA. Maybe it's ADA. Okay. Here we have the third strategy, that is called plus one. For plus one strategy, what you can do, you can increase further to 10 margin calls. Remember, in double up, we started with 7 margin call. In Fibonacci, we change it to 8 margin call. Now we can trade with 10 margin calls if you are using double up plus one strategy. Plus one strategy is like this one. We have 10 margin calls here. We have 10 margin calls. So when you have 10 margin calls, you can change your margin call drop also, because we can cover a large portion of the market with 10 margin calls. What I have done here, if you look closely, I have changed the first 4 margin calls, and I have given little small percentages here. 0.5 or 0.5, or maybe you can give 0.3 or 0.2. So these are 1.5% drop in first 4 margin calls. Then what I have given from 5th margin call and 6th margin call, I have given 8.5 margin call drop. 8.5. And before that, in first 4 margin call, I have given 1.5%. So this is a total of 10% market drop in the first 6 margin call drop. After that, I have given 10% in the next 4 margin calls. So that is a total of 40% here. And the total before was 10%. So you can take at least 50% margin call drop that will be required in plus one strategy. I hope you understood this. You can change it. This is not fixed. But when you have 10 margin calls here, you can take at least 40% to 50% market call drop easily. That allows you to take at least 40 to 50% market call drop. Okay, so either you can reduce the size of percentage, or you can increase the margin call drop. That is up to you. Only thing you need to focus here is the multiple buy-in ratio. Now we have 10 margin calls. So we have to buy 10 times now. Okay. So when we are buying 10 times, what we are using is plus one strategy. Plus one, it is very simple. Just like its name, it's saying plus one. So every time you are adding one more. So if you are buying 2 times in the first call, second call will be plus one, that is 3 times. Then third call will be plus one, that is 4 times. Then 5 times, then 6 times, and so on. So starting from 2, just add one more, and that is how you define your plus one strategy. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 till 11. So if you total all these margin calls, how much is the capital required? Just add up all the margin calls: 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So these are our 10 margin calls, and the total comes to 65. But don't forget to add one more. That was the first buy. Now we have 66 times of what? Of our first buy. That was 0.0002. So total comes to 0.0132. That is the capital required. You can note it down. the capital required for +1 is only 0.0132 BTC. How much is it worth in today's price? If you add up, if you multiply it with 27,000, this will require only 350 USDT. So you have less than $500 strategy now. So what I gave you is 3 different options. If you have around 400, if you have around, let me take you back. So we have 3 different options now. 3 different options. Number 1, I gave you double up strategy, which requires $1,400 of capital, but the capital will be in form of BTC. So this is the estimated price, estimated cost of this strategy. Second option, if you have less than $1,000, you can choose Fibonacci strategy that will require around 800. And if you have less than $500, that is +1 strategy. +1, that will require only 400, around 400 USDT. So we have 3 different options now. Someone can choose any of these depending on the capital. Don't compromise on the strategy. If you can afford a better strategy, don't compromise on the strategy, because this will be slow, this will be average, but this will be fastest. I hope you understand. This is good. Nothing is bad here. This is still good, but this is better. Better than +1. But this is the best one. Best one remains the double up. Why we call it best one? Because you are doubling up your purchase, so that will allow you to take the maximum advantage of dollar cost averaging. When you take advantage of dollar cost averaging, that will bring your average price closer to your current price, and that will minimize your floating loss. So when you have minimum floating loss, you will come out of the trade and sell, allow the robot to sell very fast, very quickly. So this will help you to accumulate in very fast strategy, and maybe you see multiple profits in a day. But when you compromise on your strategy, then the speed and the effectiveness of the strategy also compromises. So someone may think that I have $1,000. Instead of choosing the double up strategy, why not choose +1 strategy? With $400, I can trade on 3 coins if I have $1,200. But better of this will be Fibonacci. You can, instead of trading 3 coins, you can choose to trade on $800 with 1 coin and 1 coin with +1 strategy. That will give you better result if you have $1,200. So instead of trading on 3 coins, you can trade on 2 coins, one with Fibonacci, one with +1. That will give you 1 coin with better strategy. But if you ask me what is the best thing to do, best thing is to do just add $200 more to your capital and prepare for the best strategy, that is double up, which requires 1,400. So always choose this one. Or you can also choose Fibonacci also, but this is not recommended unless you have a small capital. These two are good to trade. If you have $1,000, you can trade on Fibonacci. If you have 1,400, you can chase on double up. So these are the different strategies. Someone may say that I have less than $400. If someone wants to start today, but is held up by the total capital, maybe someone may say I have $200. How I can choose the +1? You can still choose the +1 strategy with $200 also. But what you can do, instead of 10 margin calls, just trade on 7 margin calls or maybe 8 margin calls. You can calculate yourself, because you can cut off last 2 margin calls. So instead of $400, if you have $200, you can trade on 8 margin calls. Someone, if they say that I have 150 USDT, you can close this one also and trade on 7 margin calls. So less capital you have, less margin calls you can open. So that is another way of analyzing this strategy. If you have $400, you can open 10 margin calls. If you have $200, open 8 margin calls. If you have 150, less than 200, say 170, 160 or 150, you can open 7 margin calls. But don't go below 7 margin, because that will give you risk of market call drop. If you have less than $150, someone may say, I want to start with $100 or $70 or $50. Don't start. Trade on signals in USDT market, allocate your capital, increase your capital, go outside and share the opportunity, add more capital to your portfolio, then start with a better strategy. Okay. So these are the all different options you can use. And when you come to the previous page, let me show you again the last thing that is required. Okay. So before I end, one more thing you must have understanding about that. Once you have given your strategy, save it and come to the previous page. When you come to the previous page, before you start, one more thing you can do before you hit the start button. There is one more last thing you need to do. Click on this strategy mode. Click on this strategy mode. This is the last step to start this strategy. Why? Because when you click on this button, it will show like this. It will show on whole warehouse mode. What you need to do is change it to the middle one, that is sub-bin mode, not on sub-bin real time. This is not recommended, and this is also not recommended. This is the best strategy you can use to trade on BTC market. This is only recommended for BTC market. Why? Because when we are trading in USDT market, we want to withdraw our profit. And when you want to withdraw our profit, we can trade on sub-bin real-time settlement. But now we don't want to withdraw our profit. Instead, we want to compound our profit. See, the purpose is different now. We don't want to withdraw our profit and use it for to withdraw in our bank account and use it for our daily expenses. We want to trade full 1 year at least and long term, and we want to compound our capital. So this will help you to compound your capital. The trade settings that I gave you, that will help you to multiply your capital. But we go to one extra mile, and not even multiplying, we are now compounding the capital. What is compounding? Compounding means when you don't want to take out your profit, you don't want to withdraw your profit, but you want to reinvest inside your capital. That will increase your capital. That will keep on increasing your capital. So every time you make a profit, say for 1 month, maybe you earn 20 times in a month, or 40 times in a month, or 50 times in a month. Every profit that you make, you want to reinvest inside your capital to make your capital bigger and bigger. So next time robot is trading, it will trade on bigger capital. Every next time it will trade on bigger capital. So this is how you compound, and compounding is the best way to multiply your small asset into a big, huge capital. So never forget, before you start this trade, change sub-bin strategy mode to this one, middle one, sub-bin mode. Then you confirm, and then you start the trade. Okay. So this is how you trade in BTC market. I hope I have given you a clear understanding, and you now know all the strategies and all the different ways you want to trade with. Still, if you have any questions left, so I am here to answer all your questions. You can start asking your questions. Whatever doubts you have, I am here to answer. Then we can close the session. Okay, the first one is like how much capital can I get on each strategy after a year? There is no method to calculate how much capital you will have after 1 year, because we don't know about the market. Nobody can predict the market. We cannot calculate how many times you will be earning profit and how much will be the profit percentage each time. Still, you will be adding your capital, and your profit will also be reinvested into your capital. You will be compounding it, and if you run it for at least 1 year or a long period of time, then you will be you will see that yourself that you have a large capital now when than what you have started with. So you can start, even if you have $500 or $400, you can start today and keep it running for 1 year at least. Just forget it that I have this capital. Keep it running for at least 1 year. Don't withdraw between. Don't stop the trade between. It will keep on compounding for you. I hope you have now understanding, but there is no way to calculate because we cannot predict what will happen in the future. Which coins in these 6 coins you recommending to invest for a long term investment? See, all these 6 coins that Royal Q provides you are best. You don't have to think much about it, because some coin may be performing good today, but after maybe one month or 1 week, you see that some other coin is on the top and the previous coin is now in bottom, because we don't want to trade on one shot or for 1 day or 1 week. We want to trade for 1 year. So there is no requirement or any problem that you can have to decide the coin. You can trade on any of these 6 coins because it has already less choice. If you have a small capital, start with 1 coin. If you have good capital, start with 2 coins and keep on trading for next 1 year. Can I trade BTC using one shot instead of cycle? Yes, you can trade. It is up to you, and it is your choice. You can keep it on one shot, but when you keep it on one shot, it will again and again close the trade when all the calls have been sold. So then you will have to come again and start it again. So that if you have time and patience for that, then you can trade on one shot. So you have to start it again and again. Then it will not run on auto mode. If you don't have time to start again and again, you can want to trade in on fully auto mode, then you can use it in cycle. Can the setting be changed after starting the trade? Yes, anytime you can change the strategy, change the settings. Even if you have started with small capital, later you see that I have now sufficient capital, I can upgrade my strategy. Start with +1, then later you can upgrade to Fibonacci. You can change anything in the trade, even if the trade is running. There is no issue in that. How can I add more capital if I have started with small capital before, and how it will be setting be? Your capital will be remains in the exchange wallet. It will be in form of BTC, and it will be in your spot wallet in your exchange. You don't have to invest it manually. Just increase your capital. Later, if you increase your capital, what all you have to do is you can either change the strategy from a weaker one to a better one. That means from +1 to Fibonacci, or from Fibonacci to double up. One thing you can do, or you can increase your margin calls. So best way is to increase your multiple buy-in ratio. So every time it will buy more, it will use bigger capital. Then you can change your strategy. So see, two things you can do. One thing I told you that if you start with small capital and later if you want to add more capital, you can upgrade to a better strategy, say from Fibonacci to double up. Second thing, if you are already trading on Fibonacci or double up strategy, these are two best strategies. You can add one more coin. If you can afford another $1,000 for another coin, you can add up one more coin and start to trading in two different coins in BTC market. So choice is here how you can add more capital. When you choose sub-bin mode in the compounding done automatically by the robot, or you have to modify the settings again. You don't have to modify anything. Just choose the strategy mode to sub-bin mode, and it will keep on using your profit to reinvest inside your capital, inside your trade. It will not show in the revenue details. It will reflect in the transaction record, but it will not be shown and displayed in the uh, in the in the revenue details. So it will keep on using your profit inside the trade, and that will help you to compound your capital. Just change the strategy to sub-bin mode. Can you trade BTC and USDT at the same time in spot trading? Yes, you can trade both or three different markets all together, but only condition is you cannot trade on any common coin in all these three. That means if you are trading on BTC market, the one coin that you are using is BTC. If you are trading in BTC market, you are using BTC for that. So you cannot open a trade in USDT market on BTC. So that is the only one condition. In BTC market, if you are trading on any of these coins, say you are trading on LTC oblique BTC, so you cannot choose these two coins in USDT market or Ethereum market. So you cannot trade with BTC in USDT or LTC with USDT. So these will be blocked in the second market. Can I trade XRP on both BTC? Yes, I've just answered that. If you are trading on XRP in USDT, you cannot open it in BTC market. If you are trading on XRP with BTC in BTC market, you cannot open it in USDT or Ethereum market. I hope I have answered your questions. And what is the best time to make the withdraw in the BTC market? Yes, best time is when you decide that this is the price I want to sell BTC. It depends on you. How much is your expectation, and how you decide this is my profit. Some people want to sell when BTC reaches 50,000. Some people are waiting for it to at least reach 100,000. But some people, they think in long term, they want to wait for another 1 or 2 years till it reaches $1 million. Some people may say, I will wait for another 4 years or 5 years. It is up to you. Before, the longer you wait, the higher the price will go. But it will also come down. So don't forget that it will, when bull run starts, it will reach the all-time high. And when it touches the all-time high price, wherever it is, then it will also come down into bear market. So best time to sell is when it is at the highest point in the next bull run. That is the 2024 bull run or 2025, you can say. The highest, the new all-time high is expected to be around 2025. So you can, that is why I always say that you can trade for at least 1 or 2 years till it reaches the new, it creates a new all-time high. It can be $100,000, it can be $500,000, it can be $1 million or above also. So whenever it touches the highest point, that is where you decide, I want to sell. When you want to sell your BTC that is accumulated in these 1 or 2 years, just stop this trade, click on the pause button, and then you can sell it in your exchange for USDT. So before that, you have already accumulated BTC. Let the robot sell all your, suppose you are trading on XRP oblique BTC, let the robot sell all your XRP and give you back your BTC. Change the cycle mode to one shot. because you don't want to start it again, then you can, first thing you do, just change the strategy mode to one shot. So wait for it to sell all the LTC or XRP, whichever coin you are trading. Then it will give back your BTC and close the trade. Automatically it will be closed. When you have closed the trade, then you have accumulated, and your capital will be in form of BTC again. Then you can sell it manually in your exchange with USDT. Can 1,000 tune to 10,000? I cannot answer these questions. Like these are something that nobody can calculate, and I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot promise a fixed return here, because Royal Q doesn't gives you a fixed return. I hope you understand this. Royal Q gives you a platform to trade. That is a service provider. How much return you get depends on three factors. First is the market, that nobody has control. Second is your capital, that you have control. And third is your strategy, that we teach in Crypto Ambassador. So if you have sufficient capital and you trade with the best strategies that we teach, then you can expect the best returns. But still, it depends on the market. Nobody can predict the market. Nobody can give you a fixed figure. This is what you will get after this time. But we can give you the best strategies that already I gave you, three different options. If you understand these strategies, if you believe anything about that, even if you believe 1% of the power of these strategies, you can start today and keep on accumulating. How can we know how much BTC we have accumulated anytime? When you start, I told you different methods you can calculate how much capital is required. Say you have 0.132 BTC, that is the minimum capital. You can take a screenshot, or you can write it down somewhere in your diary, that this is the capital I started with. After a few months or 1 year or 2 years, then you can go to your exchange wallet and see how much BTC now you have. So then you will calculate how much I have accumulated. That is the only way you can calculate. When you are starting this trade, just note the capital in form of BTC, how much BTC is there, not in form of USDT, because you will be trading in BTC. So note it down, and later you can keep on checking in your exchange how much it has increased. But it will increase slowly. Don't expect I have just trade on 2 days or 4 days. Now I don't see much change, because it will take time. It is very slow market. It is not as aggressive as USDT market. You don't see much action there, but that is why we wait for at least 1 year to take the advantage and see the big difference. So it is good to sell when the bull run is going to start. The best time to sell is when we see that bull run has already been in place, and we see that this is the highest price that we can decide to sell. Nobody can predict the highest price, because it is not going to tell you that this is the highest price and then I'm going down. But you have to decide yourself that how much profit do you want to take. Maybe when you sell, you see that it has gone even further to a new all-time high, but nobody can manage that, because if you wait for long, maybe you decide to sell it when it is at $1 million, but it reaches suppose 700,000 and then start to go down. So nobody can stop it. So it is you who have to decide. Once you have good amount of profit, you can decide that this is my limit. So I hope I have answered all your questions, and time is also limited. So we have to close the session, and I don't see any other questions. So we can close the session. I hope you got a good understanding about BTC accumulation, how it is so important, why we should focus on this, and how it helps you to create wealth and a fortune for you, and how Royal Q helps you to accumulate BTC on fully auto mode. You don't have to spend all your time opening and closing the trades. Just Start it today and keep it on full auto mode, and keep it running for at least 1 or 2 years, till the time you decide that this is the point I want to sell. Then you can have great a great return on investment, and that is the time you have accumulated all your small capital into a huge capital, and then you can realize your wealth, and then you become super happy and a super trader. So let us close this session today, and let's meet in the next session. I do it every Wednesday, same time. So if you have already attended before, you know that we have this recorded in our YouTube channel. You can go and subscribe Crypto Ambassador on YouTube, and there you can find all the recordings, all the trainings that we have done before in the live section and the video section. And if you want to invite your friends, next time you have this opportunity to invite. So let us meet in the next session. Till then, happy trading to all of you, and have a wonderful day, and have a wonderful accumulation in BTC. Thank you so much. Bye, and